Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome to another meal prep video. In today's video for breakfast prep, I'm making strawberry cheesecake overnight oats. And for lunch this week, I'm making some warm bowls. These don't have protein yet. I'll explain to you during the video. As always, the recipes will be linked down in the description box below, as well as some of the items that I use, my meal prep containers, anything that you see me using, I try to link those down below as well. For anyone following Weight Watchers or calorie counting, I do share the Weight Watcher points and also calories on my channel as well. As always, I appreciate the thumbs up on my videos, and if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to be part of the family. So let's jump right into this week's meal prep video. So this week for breakfast, I'm going to do cheesecake overnight oats, and usually I either do it like with cherries or with strawberries. Today I'm going to do it with strawberries. So the difference with this one with my normal overnight oats is I'm adding in some pudding mix. So I've just got some sugar-free, fat-free cheesecake pudding mix here. I only have one box. I'm going to make 6 of the overnight oats. I only have one box, and I use about 1/4 of this into each one. So I'm either going to use just a little bit less of this to make it go amongst the 6, or for 2 of them, I have some vanilla pudding mix that I can use instead. So I'll see how much it makes. One thing with this, you do have to make sure you mix it in real well, like with the milk, because otherwise it can clump up. So like I said, I'm going to do some hard-boiled eggs. I'm going to go ahead and make all 12. What I'll do is just keep them in my fridge, and then we can just have them throughout the week just to kind of snack on if we want. Or what I'll do is maybe come the middle of the week, maybe like on the 3rd day, I'll just make egg salad out of it, and we can have like egg salad sandwiches for one of the days for lunch. So I'm going to get these started in my Instant Pot, so those can be cooking while I put the oats together. I got my Instant Pot here. I've got a cup of water down in the bottom. I have these little trivets that I use for the eggs, and I have 2 of them, so they basically just stack on top of each other. I'll link these down below. So I'm going to put all 12 eggs in there, and then I'm going to pressure cook this on high for 7 minutes, and then I'm going to do a quick release. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but I just do 7 minutes and then a quick release. And then once my eggs are done, I put them immediately into an ice bath. So what I usually do with my eggs is keep the carton, and that way I just put my hard-boiled eggs in there, and then we have them throughout the week. When I buy the eggs, I take them out of this and put them in my egg container in my fridge. So I always know the ones in these are hard-boiled. And I had one of them that did break, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. And as you can see, when you do these in the Instant Pot, the shell just falls right off. So let me show you what it looks like with the 7 minutes. So usually you can do anywhere from like 3 to 7 minutes, but I like them really hard boiled. So that's what mine look like. So I'll just put these in my fridge, and then we can grab these throughout the week, whether it be for breakfast or just a protein snack throughout the day. Okay, so for the overnight oats, I just have some oats here. I think these ones are old-fashioned oats. So I usually use the old-fashioned or the quick oats. Use whatever oats you want. So I'm going to put 1/2 cup of oats in each one. One thing about overnight oats, these are so versatile. You can make them whatever way you want. So sometimes what I'll do is just add like some protein powder. The way these are, the way it is, it only has 7 grams of protein. So y'all know I like to get more protein than that in my breakfast. So what I'll usually do is either make some hard-boiled eggs that I can have, not necessarily with it, but maybe like as a mid-morning snack just to up my protein. Or sometimes I'll make them, instead of using the unsweetened almond milk, I'll use like a Premier Protein. I've used the Premier Protein in these, and they're really good. It does make them sweeter though, so if you use those, then you may want to back off either the sweetener or the syrup. Next, I'm going to put in a teaspoon of monk fruit sweetener. I always try to do the dry ingredients first. This recipe doesn't actually call for chia seeds, but I am going to add just maybe like between 1/4 and 1/2 tablespoon. For this kind, it'll be 0 points, the Better Body Foods. Next, I'm going to add the pudding mix. So let me see if I need to weigh this out. All right, I decided I'm just going to use, I was going to weigh it out, but I'm just going to eyeball it. So I decided I'm just going to use the cheesecake one and just split it amongst all of them. You know what? I only put a 1/4 cup in that one. Jeez, that one too. I missed those last two. All right, there we go. Who caught that? All right, and then just kind of mix the dry ingredients up. Next, I'm putting in 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk, then a teaspoon of cake batter extract. If you want to use vanilla extract, you sure can do that. And then a tablespoon of sugar-free maple syrup. Today I'm using the Lakanto. I prefer this kind if I have it, but I've also used the Maple Farms Grove as well. And then just mix that all together. So usually when I'm stirring up the overnight oats, I just give them a real light stir. But whenever I use pudding mix in it, I stir them a little bit more just to make sure that that doesn't clump up. So now I've got my strawberries all washed and dried, and I'm just gonna slice them and just lay them on top. You know what? I'm gonna add just a little bit more almond milk. Since I added chia seeds to these, that's gonna really thicken them up. So I know we're gonna need a little bit more. But that's one thing with overnight oats. They're very forgiving. So if you find that they're too thick the day you go to eat them, just add a little bit more milk. Or if you find that you put too much milk and you want them a little thicker, just add a little bit more oats or something. So now I'm just gonna go through them all and add some strawberries to the top. Feel free to use whatever fruits you want. I do love cherries on these. It's kind of like cherry cheesecake, but I don't have any cherries, so I'm just using strawberries for today. If you want to just wait until the day that you eat them to slice them up, you can. If I were making more than 6, which is 3 days, so if you're new to my channel, I meal prep for my husband and I do not eat these 6 days. So 3 days for me is enough of something the same. So if I were making more of these though, overnight oats are they stay pretty good for like the entire week. So if I did that, then I would probably just put the strawberries on maybe 2 or 3 of them, and then the other ones I would wait. So that is the strawberry cheesecake overnight oats. For Weight Watcher points, if you don't count your fruit, these are 4 points, and it's about 224 calories. For lunch this week, I'm not really doing a meal prep. I'm not going to be putting the meals into 6 individual containers. I'm actually just kind of prepping the ingredients. So basically, I'm just going to cook up some vegetables. I have some brown rice here that I had made extra of. If any of you saw the post I put with the bowl that I made a warm bowl, and it had a bunch of vegetables and some brown rice, and that one I made with salmon. That's basically what we're going to be doing for lunches this week. It was so good. So basically what I'm going to do for this, I have a huge wok over here on my stove. I'm going to just put a little bit of avocado oil in there. This is going to go back in my fridge because I'm not going to do anything more with the brown rice today. I'm going to make zucchini noodles out of my zucchini and then just slice up. I've got a red bell pepper, a green bell pepper. I have part of a yellow one here, and also some red onion. And then I'm gonna get those pan searing first, and then I'll add in, these are roasted red peppers, I'll add a little bit of those, and probably some mushrooms that I'll add towards the end as well. So I'm just gonna prep everything individually, keep it in my fridge, and that way each day we can make the bowl how we want. So we'll always have the vegetables in the bowl, and then if we wanna use rice that day, we can. And what we're going to do is each night when we make our protein, like one night we'll have chicken, one night we'll have salmon, we'll just make extra so the next day we can put it in with our lunch. So we're going to kind of mix up the protein this week. So that is pretty much what I'm going to be doing this week for lunch meal prep. And then like I said, we can kind of mix and match. Or like say one day we go out for lunch at work, we can always have this for dinner. So very versatile. I had some broccoli in my fridge, so I'm just going to chop up some broccoli in there as well. All right, I'm going to set those aside and get my zucchini noodles done. So this is the spiralizer that I use. It is a Paderno. I'll link it down below. I love this thing. And I have some carrots in my fridge too. I think I may add some carrots to this as well. I'm using 4 of them. I love the zucchini noodles being kind of like the base. So usually I have a base to the bowl, which means basically it's like the vegetable that I use the most. I know a lot of you have seen me talk about So Fresh, the restaurant. I love their bowls, so this is kind of like that. So you usually end up with little end pieces here. So I just chop those up and throw them right in the pan with it. All right, I've got some carrots that I'm going to be using just for snacking through the week, but I'm going to throw some of these in there. So you don't need to do zucchini noodles. If you want to just use zucchini, or you prefer to just use regular pasta, completely up to you. We love zucchini noodles in these bowls. Okay, so I've got my burner on pretty high. I sprayed my wok with some cooking spray and then added some avocado oil. Now I'm just going to add all my vegetables. So I'm going to let those cook until they're semi-tender. We will be heating this up the day that we have it, so I don't have to cook it all the way. Okay, so as you can see, it will really cook down. So even though that looked like a whole lot, it really cooks down some. So to split this into 6 will be perfect. So now I've added some mushrooms. I'm just adding a few roasted red peppers. Even though I put red pepper in there, I still like the roasted red pepper in there. So to season this, I just used some Lowry seasoning salt and some black pepper. I did decide to put my meal prep containers together. I said I was just going to put the vegetables in a big container, put them in my fridge like the rice, but I decided I'll at least do the vegetables and the rice in here, and then that way the day that we take it, we can just put the protein in there. So what I'll do is when I make dinner, like say tomorrow we have salmon, then the leftover salmon, like I said, I'll make extra. I'll just put that in the containers that night, and then it'll be ready for lunch the next day. And then the next night I'll do the same thing. And I'll link these containers down below. I only have 5 of the rectangle ones, so I have a square one back there that I use as well. And then I'm just gonna put 1/3 of a cup of rice in each one. And then this rice I can use up with dinner or something tonight. So that's the bowl. I'll put the protein in there, mix it all together, and then what we usually do is just drizzle it with some of this teriyaki stir fry sauce, and this is so good. This is only 1 point. So what I usually do with this, I only use about a tablespoon worth, which is 18 grams. I put it on a scale and I weigh it out. So I put some of that in one of these little squirt containers. I think I got these at the dollar store. I love these for putting like sour cream, or if you want to put like a cheese queso over something. It just looks like you're getting a lot more when you drizzle it over it. So that 1 tablespoon goes a long way. So this is 1 point for a tablespoon and 25 calories. So the points and calories on this, honestly, I can't tell you because it's going to be completely dependent on what you put in it. So this was the bowl that I made the other day. This is essentially what these bowls are going to look like. This one I made with salmon. This one I counted as 4 points. It was 0 for the salmon, 0 for the vegetables. It was 2 points for the rice. And then I did count 2 points for half a tablespoon of avocado oil because I used half a tablespoon for this one serving. So this bowl, like I said, was 4 points, and it was right about 450 calories. Another thing that you could do if you wanted to go meatless, you could definitely add some corn and black beans to this. You can do so many different things to make this your own. Okay, I'm going to stick this clip in somewhere in the video. It is now 7 o'clock at night. My son, daughter-in-law, and grandkids were here today. We had the most amazing time. So I decided to go ahead and cook up some chicken. We are going to probably have salmon tomorrow night, so I'll put salmon in 2 of them. And then I'm going to put the chicken in 4 of them. So here I just have some chicken breast tenderloins. I actually just put these in the Instant Pot frozen. I pour in a little bit of chicken broth, put them in the Instant Pot frozen for 9 minutes. Then I do a quick release for 6, and then I just pop them in a hot pan just to get a little bit of a pan sear on them. But you can cook them however you want. So I thought it would kind of cut up, but they're so tender that it's just breaking apart. So I am just cutting these up. I'm just putting 2 little tenderloins in each one. So on Weight Watchers, this chicken, because it's chicken breast, it is 0 points. And for calories, I think the calories on this is like, I want to say 110 for 3 ounces. So that's it. Then we'll just drizzle it with some of that teriyaki sauce and then mix it all together. So now I'll jump back into meal prep from earlier. So now I have some grapes and some apples that I'm just washing. I just washed them in 4 parts water to 1 part white vinegar. So I'm getting these washed so that I can put together a fruit bowl. So I'm actually making a fruit bowl today. My son, daughter-in-law, and grandkids are coming over, so I'm doing a fruit bowl. And then I'm just gonna make a great big one. That way we'll have it for the week for snacking. I'm just using the salad spinner, the bottom of it that I use to clean the fruit. I'm gonna use that just to throw this together for now, and then I can always transfer it to a different container. So I'm just gonna cut up my watermelon into chunks, and then I'm gonna use my pineapple core and core my pineapple, which I absolutely love my pineapple core. It took me a few years to buy it, and I'm so glad that I did now. And then I'm just gonna cut up the apples and toss those in there. And now with my grapes, I'm curious. I saw something on social media. I don't know if it was on TikTok or what, but it showed how to easily get the grapes off of the vine. So I'm gonna see if this works. It showed it just kind of rolling them around in a paper towel. So we'll see if this works. Wow, look at that. Pretty much worked. So when you're drying them off, I used to always pull them off before I washed them. That was just how I always did it. And then I'd end up just doing that. I have to do that anyway to dry them. So yeah, that's a new way of doing it. Oh my gosh, I have grapes rolling all over the place. All right, now we're gonna do our best to just kind of mix this up. That's a lot of fruit. So we'll probably eat quite a bit of this today. My grandkids love fruit, so I'm sure a lot of this will get eaten today. And then I'll transfer it into my fruit and vegetable container. Should have probably cut that watermelon a little smaller. So after the grandkids leave today, I'll transfer whatever I have left into this. It may not even all fit in there, but at least that'll keep it good for a few days. So whatever doesn't fit in there, we'll just make sure to eat that up first within the next day or so. So I have some frozen blueberries in my freezer that they're fresh blueberries that I froze for smoothies. I'm just gonna toss some of those in there. And those will just thaw out. I also still had 3 strawberries from breakfast. I just tossed those in there. I'm gonna keep the strawberries towards the top. Those will get eaten today. Oh my gosh, tell me that doesn't look so good. So that is the fruit salad that my family will have today, and then whatever's left we will have for snacking throughout the week. And now it is 8:20 at night, and I forgot that I wanted to put my fruit in something else. So this is why, because the watermelon, it really makes a lot of water, and with this container it has this insert, so it has some room at the bottom for the water to drain out, so it's not all sitting in there getting soggy. So this does keep it a little bit longer than if I were to leave it in this. So what I did is we actually ate quite a bit of that fruit, probably I'd say maybe a third of what was in here, or maybe about a quarter. So I took these little containers and I put enough in for 2 days. So I'll take one, my husband will take one tomorrow, and then we'll each take one Tuesday. And then this is what I have left, so I'll do the same thing. Once we use these, I'll fill them for the next couple days. So then I'm just gonna put my top on there. And for fruit, we wanna keep the vents open. So now I'll pop back into the meal prep. So one other thing I'm doing, I'm making do with some things that I had in my fridge. So this is some leftover pasta that we had from making pasta the other night. And then I've got some cucumber that I had cut up last night for my husband and I. So I want to get that used up. So I'm just going to kind of make like a pasta salad out of this. So I'm just going to cut up a tomato, and then I'm going to add the tomato, the cucumber, and then I'm going to add some green olives and also some feta cheese, and then just give it a drizzle with some olive oil. And then I have some Olive Garden light Italian dressing in my fridge that we can drizzle over it throughout the week if we want. And that's the pasta salad I threw together. So this is my meal prep. I've got my fruit salad, my pasta salad, our lunches, which don't have the protein in it yet, and the breakfast this week. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.